To dairy or not to dairy on an anti-inflammatory diet? Man, that is the question of the hour, right? We hear recommendations to not have any dairy, but then we see all these recipes that look delicious and seem beneficial for our bodies that incorporate dairy. So let's break down the science and see what this means for you and your body so you can make a more informed decision. I'm going to start by saying that I am not going to get into the debate about whether or not we should be eating animal products in general ethically. That's for you to decide for your body and your family. I am simply going to break down the science so that you can make a great decision for yourself. I want to start by saying, yes, dairy can be a great addition to an anti-inflammatory eating plan. Anyone that tells you any different probably doesn't have a lot of training in nutrition. And here's why. Because dairy is high in beneficial bacteria. Your immune system starts in your gut. And if you populate beneficial bacteria in the gut, you can help your immunity. So you get live cultures in fermented dairy like yogurt, and you get lactic acid, great for the gut. You get vitamin D and you get protein. These are all things that are amazing for those of us that are struggling with chronic inflammation. The next part of this is that there are some people that can have adverse effects to dairy because they don't produce enough lactase, the enzyme to digest dairy. You can get around that by getting lactate-free type of products like this one. This doesn't have any lactose in it to break down, so it is easier to digest if it gives you tummy troubles. The next thing that you should know about dairy is that, yes, it does have hormones. What's so interesting is that many people eat meat, but then they say they're not going to eat dairy because of the hormones. Just a fact check here for you. All animal products convey hormones because we're eating something that is hormone-rich. So when you have any animal product, you get hormone exposure. If you're worried about the hormones in your yogurt, then go for the non-fat variety. The higher the fat content in the food, the higher the concentration of hormones, because animal species, us included, we store hormones in our fat. So when you get a higher fat yogurt, you're getting a little bit higher concentration of hormones. And the last thing that I'm going to say is, if you are somebody who gets hungry often and you're looking for satiety and fullness, the fat keeps you fuller longer. Non-fat yogurt is going to digest much more quickly than higher fat varieties because it takes the body longer to digest fats. So if you care about hormones and you care about fullness, then maybe what you want to do is do a non-fat yogurt and add some chia or some nuts or something to it to give yourself some fat. If you're not as concerned about hormones, I'm postmenopausal. I'm not worried about my hormones. I know they're in check, so I can do a full fat yogurt and it works fine for me. You may be a little different, but I just wanted to give those examples. So those are the reasons why dairy can be anti-inflammatory and the reasons why they may be causing you issues. They can make some people experience more congestion in their sinuses. So if you notice that when you eat dairy, maybe it's not the best product for you. But for many of us, dairy is an amazing addition to an anti-inflammatory diet. Oftentimes when people take it out of their diet, I see them moving to alternative varieties that are high in sugar and have so many processed ingredients in them. And then you're trading one issue for another. So the bigger question is, if you take something out of your diet, what will you move in its place? And if that food that you're moving in is not as healthy, then it's a no-go. Just stick with the OG and eat what you prefer, because many times we substitute our way into a more processed diet. I hope that's helpful. I will see you next time. Bye.